Hi class. This video will be explaining resumes and what you need to include in them. So you should have your resume packet, which should have a title page of Hire Me, I'm Nice, Writing a Resume, and you should also have an example resume from Susie McMichaels. We will first look at the beginning page of Hire Me, I'm Nice. So when you write a resume, there are things that you need to include in it and things that you don't need to include in it. Some things that you need to include are your qualifications so that people will know what you can do and what you can't. You will need to include your name, address, telephone number, and an email if you have one. With your email, if you're going to include it, please make sure it's appropriate and that it has your name in some fashion so that the employers will know how to contact you. It will need to include your educational information and previous work experience. This way, when you give a resume out, the employers can look to see if you're a good fit for the job. They can check your education information, and they can check to see if you have a little bit of an idea about the job and if you'd be a good fit. Now here's the most important thing. Information on a resume should be listed in chronological order. That means the most recent experiences first. So if you had something that happened in 2013, 2012, and 2008, you need to have the 2008 one listed last. Why? This is important because the employers are paying more attention to what you've done right now, not what you did 5 years ago. So make sure that when you do your resume that it's listed in chronological order. So let's take a look at the example. This is Susie McMichaels, totally made up person, not real at all. She lives here, and she has included her phone number. It's fake, don't call it. And she's included her email, also fake, don't email it. You'll notice that her resume is separated up into 4 sections. We have education, activities, work experience, and achievements. There is another section called references, and all you need to do is say available upon request. That means that if an employer wants to know more, you'll give them more information about who to contact. Now, this is a chronological order resume, which means that each section by itself is in chronological order. So for education, she placed the place that she went to school for high school, and she also put in her middle school. You will include your middle schools and your elementary schools, so start thinking about where you went to elementary school and what years. Under activities, activities are going to show that she's a well-rounded student and that she doesn't just go to school and come home and eat Takis and watch movies. So she was in band for 4 years, she was in the Honor Society for 1 year, and she was also in the Hip Hop Dance Club for 3 years. Now, you'll notice under her work experience that she did a couple of different things. She's babysat for the last 5 years, so we put that last because that's the one that has been happening the most. And look how she described babysitting. Watched 2 younger children ages 3 through 5. She didn't just say, babysat my brothers. So what she's doing here is she's explaining what she's done in a non-emotional manner. So we don't want to have any emotions. We don't want to have anything that indicates that I had fun with it or I really hated it. It's going to be non-emotional. So watch 2 younger children aged 3 through 5. Now also for babysitting, it says cooked meals, entertained children, put to bed before parents came home. She described exactly what she did. She didn't just say babysat. When you do a resume, you need to be descriptive about yourself. You're selling yourself to an employer. You're trying to get a job. So it's important that you are telling the company how you are and what you've done. So secretary work. She went into work with her mom for a couple days over the summer. So she didn't just say, went to work with mom. She talked about what she did. She assisted her mother at her office. She ran copies, helped with computer work, and filed paperwork. Do you notice in here there's no I did, I went, I did? In resumes, you do not want to include the word I because the whole page is about you. We don't need to have that repeated and have it redundant. She also worked as a volunteer worker at Primary Children's Hospital, or PCH. Again, you see that she worked with pediatric patients, read stories, played games, entertained families, and helped run paperwork for nurses. You'll also see under achievements that it's in chronological order. This is also important. Anything that you have in your resume needs to be in chronological order. So now what you're going to do, you're going to go back to your resume packet, read the beginning, and then you'll begin planning out your resume with your information.